So what are we talking about? Like before the show, like what are
We are broadcasting, but we're going to be talking about what's going to come on the segment, and we're just going to try to pull our audience and see what they would like to see on the show, and kind of just give them a pre-show of what is going to be covered. So like AFC East, what are their opinions, and
All right.
the FIFA, what's going on, what do they think USA is going to do in the elimination matches and things like that. So, and then today's games, Germany and
You
France.
start broadcasting.
I'm broadcasting right now.
Oh.
Can you guys see it? We're up. We're
All right.
good.
Good.
Awesome. Go ahead, Matt. Take it away. We missed you last show, so.
All right. Well, today's broadcast, we're talking some FIFA, as you guys always do, NBA free agency talk, and then our next segment in our division rankings, the NFC East, which are obviously the Bills, Patriots, Jets, Dolphins.
Say NFC East.
Did I say? I thought I said
You said
AFC.
You said NFC. Yep.
I meant AFC.
Yeah, we're gonna call you out on that.
It's all good. The AFC East, the Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Pats.
So yeah, anybody have any idea on want to get involved in the show? Go ahead and start plugging away. You can speak too.
Yeah.
Sir, sir, I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna say in just a second. And I was kind of distraught by, Matt's tone right now. I don't know if the mic was picking him up, so I just kind of double checked
I
that a
don't
little
know.
bit.
I wasn't
Right?
exactly prepared for this pre-show. I didn't know what to talk about.
So now that you're gonna put me on the spot,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about what we have today. I'm excited to talk about the draft. The NBA draft was record-breaking this past, what was it, Saturday, I believe?
No, it was Thursday.
Yeah, it was like
Wow, it's been a long
almost,
week.
Yeah.
almost a week ago. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Ramadan just started, and I'm fasting. And, I don't have enough nutrients to my brain right now to kind of function, but it shouldn't hinder my ability to talk sports. Anyways, as for the draft, I'm excited to talk about that. I'm excited to talk about the FIFA world and the latest and greatest news because the World Cup is almost coming to a closure. But it's been some really good games, and today was actually also a great day for soccer in itself. And then we all love football. Who doesn't love football? We just wish it was here sooner, and we're just going to give our opinions on what we think will be the dominant to the weakest powerhouse in the AFC East. So we'll all share our opinions, and
Who's the weakest?
Wait, the weakest powerhouse. Yeah. Wait. What did you
no,
mean by
we're
that?
going to rank them from the powerhouses, who's going to be
Oh.
first to last, and who you might think is the weakest link in the AFC East versus who I might think is the weakest link.
I think it's the Patriots. Joking.
Okay.
Joking.
A pre-show outlandish statement. You just had to get it in before,
You
huh?
had to do something.
You
right?
had
Wake
to.
them
You
up.
had to. I mean, if the viewers have any questions that would like to get answered, or would like to see anything on the show, you guys are more than welcome to shoot us a text or a chat, and then we could see if we can get an answer for you. Or if there's anything that you guys want to ask us personally for the pre-show, we're here to answer those questions for you as well. But can everybody hear us loud and clear on that's listening in right now? We have a new mic.
All
We're trying
three
to
of
test it
you.
out.
No.
No three. Where's three viewers we got?
I don't know what volume.
oh.
I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
You can put your volume on real quick to check.
are you delayed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's delayed.
Enough
Is that
for you.
going straight through the microphone?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay. You can turn that off now. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So looks like we're a go. It sounds great. If there's any technical difficulties, just shoot us a little ping or a message on the social stream. AF Height says yes. The mic is perfect. Thank you. Who that is? No.
That's cousin Alexandria. Thanks for checking us out. Again.
President Alexander.
No, cousin Alexandria.
Cousin Alexandria, like cousin Skeeter.
Cousin Alexandria.
If she lived in Alexandria, now that would be
But cousin Skeeter was
ironic.
because he was a cousin. That wasn't his name.
Well, yeah, cousin Skeeter.
Oh.
Cousin
Yeah.
Alexandria.
That's what I was
I
saying.
thought you were saying cousin was the. Okay, never mind. Cousin was the name. That's why I was so confused.
Get with it, Matt.
Yeah, her name is
trying.
cousin
That's why.
Alexandria.
That's why I was confused.
Alexandria's her last
You can
name.
understand my confusion now.
We have a question from the live crowd here. They would like to know, what do you guys think about the Dodgers' winning streak with the current pitching strength that they have?
Well, their pitching strength is they got I would say the best pitching roster. Clayton Kershaw coming off that no hitter, and then he had I think he had a one hitter or a 2-hit game after that. So yeah, they definitely got a squad out there. I wouldn't call them the best team in baseball just yet, but definitely with that pitching rotation that they got going on right there. Josh Beckett also out there. They got a squad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yasiel Puig, even though he's not a pitcher, their squad in general
Yeah.
is very good.
I think their biggest highlight is their pitching staff, though, because they are. Let's see, they do control the game somewhat, right? Somehow.
I would say they are the game controllers.
Mm-hmm. So.
It's like when you go to Ultrazone, you got the game master. They control
Right,
everything.
that's what I feel the pitches. You know what? That's never thought of it that way, but sure.
Yeah.
You know, I think the pitchers have, and in the Dodger community in itself, are really good and have been shown to do that in the last couple of weeks, especially with the no hitters and things like that. So I think
I just wanted to hear you talk some more, so I had to put it on here.
okay, just
Yeah.
making sure. We got another question from the audience.
Yes.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Bob Smith.
Okay, Bob. How you doing tonight?
Good, good. Do you guys miss Willie Hernandez, I believe is his name?
Oh, Willie Hernandez.
I'm sorry, who's that?
Who's that?
Yeah, Stinky Winky.
Stinky Winky.
Oh, Crazy Eyes.
Spuds
Crazy
McGee?
Legs, Crazy Eyes.
He's a friend of the program.
Yeah. Friend of the
Rings a
program.
bell. Rings a bell.
I think we've seen him around sometime, right? Yeah.
we have a. I think he was on here last week. I
Was he?
believe.
All of last
I
week.
told you I'm fasted, so I really can't tell you. I can't remember that far back.
Yeah, but shout out to Ill Will, the boy who's sick in the head about his sports.
I don't know. If, you know.
I'm glad we're at full strength, so I can't really say I miss him.
Yeah, I don't miss him. I think I missed Matt. And I think I missed myself not being here as well, more than I missed Willie being here today.
It's a little
We
conceited.
still love you, Willie.
I'll say I miss Little Willie. I like when you're That was worded badly, dude.
You miss little Willie.
He's a fun guy to have on the program. He knows his sports.
Yeah.
Oh man.
On that note, we have another question from the audience.
Yes.
Your name is, sir?
Carol Ryan, and I'd like to know if you're going to have a Spurs and 5 t-shirt that you're going to wear on the air.
We should have a Spurs and 5 T-shirt, but just for you.
I would love to wear it.
I think we should have that.
You
And then
know-
on the back say, "I'm a Heat fan.
LeBron fan.
I'm a Heat
I'm
fan."
a LeBron fan.
Spurs and 5. I'm a Heat fan.
I'm a LeBron fan.
I would like that.
I think I've made this clear about 100 times that I'm a LeBron fan. So if LeBron went to Toronto Raptors tomorrow, I'd be a Toronto Raptors fan just for LeBron.
Yeah, but you're a Heat fan.
But I'm a Wizards fan.
Who?
Washington Wizards.
That's just
Who?
poor fandom. if you
That's
ask me.
not. That's
Very
LeBron's
poor.
It's like the
game.
sa- it's like in-
You don't know basketball.
They're in the
like
same-
That. I don't. We
but-
don't follow.
but they're in the-
nothing
they're
to
in the
do
same-
with
just
that.
like-
Just
they're in the
like-
same
nothing to do with
conference.
it.
Hold on, aren't you a Kobe fan?
Yeah.
Didn't you follow the Lakers?
I do.
Aren't you a Lakers fan? But aren't you also a Knicks fan?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a Lakers
Two
fan.
completely. They're not even in the same division.
I'm a LeBron fan, so I'm gonna follow
He
where
plays on the
LeBron
Heat,
goes.
and he's on the Wizards, and that's the same exact division.
He's not on the Wizards, but yes, I do follow the Wizards.
You follow the Wizards, my fault.
Yes.
Sitting there
That's
picking out
my
the one
team.
word I screwed up on.
It's a crucial word. He's on the Wizards.
We got any more questions?
Don't get me started on this, all right? I don't need both of you all to chime in. I follow basketball and I follow players in basketball because it's more relative
I
for me to
follow
do that.
players
So
too, but
LeBron
I
James is
don't-
my favorite player, and I will follow him
I
on
don't-
the
We got a
Heat.
question.
I'll follow
I
him
just-
on the Lakers. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tim Brown. I'm from New York. I want to ask Matt, are you tired of hearing about Johnny Manziel in the media?
I'm not tired of hearing about it because it's no one can really say anything bad about him at this point. There's been no, if his play is not up to par, if and when he starts this season, people can start to say things about him. But it's just a matter of he's had this he's had this fame since before he was in the NFL, and many of other players go out and do the same sort of thing very often, go out and party. They just aren't constantly having pictures taken of them. That's the only difference, really.
I think a lot of the heat generated towards Johnny Manziel is towards the older population in general.
I don't like him.
Actually, yeah, all right. Well, I mean, you're gonna have your outliers. You could be an outlier. I like Johnny Manziel. I have nothing wrong with him doing what he's doing. He's finally getting paid, and he's still a kid. He needs to live his youth, right? So
Always been paid. Comes from a very wealthy family in
that's fine.
Texas.
But this is his own money that he can just
Yeah.
play around with, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's got many more. He's got much more just media light on him, especially even though he had a lot already going at school. Now that he's drafted with the Cleveland Browns, he's got much more of that, popularity, and people just like in his grill all the time, want Johnny Manziel now. And so clearly, everybody else that's in the draft that got drafted, I'm sure they're all out doing the same thing. I'm sure they're all out partying. I mean, you just got drafted to an NFL team. That's something that they've been working through their whole entire lives. They've
Yeah,
been
so
working
why are you
for
going
that.
out partying?
Because it's time for them to celebrate. They made it
You
to
know,
the
not
big
you
stage.
ain't make nothing yet. There's still cuts.
Sure,
Yeah.
but
You
you can
ain't
still
you ain't
come out
even
and
getting to
celebrate.
training camp.
Yeah.
But-
I don't
OTAs.
approve
I
of
think-
him partying, but I also don't approve
I would
of
not be doing that.
I don't approve of that the media only focuses in on him. Like, I think yes, maybe he should not be taking these weekend trips to Vegas and all across the country. I
If
feel
it's
like-
affecting his performance in practice, or if it's affecting his practice ability and he's missing and skipping practices or,
we have-
workouts, then sure, I understand. But if he's doing this and is still able to manage the workload that comes with the Cleveland Browns, then I say, do you, Johnny Manziel, enjoy your time, have fun with that money. You just got paid. It's time to show them or show everybody else, show all the haters what you're made of. For now, it's behind the doors. Nobody can see what you can do right now on the big stage. So work as hard as you want, party as much as you want. They're still gonna talk. You're still gonna be in the limelight. You just, when it comes to the big show, show them what you're made of, and then I think that he will be taken off. Until then, I
I don't
think
think it's ever. I think until we start hearing people saying positive things about him, because they can either say negative things about him, which they do now.
Right.
He can be a neutral player where
Right.
people don't. But then you have guys like when people talk about RG3, he's the first guy in the building, last guy to leave. It's other rookies, Brandon Cooks, people saying in New Orleans how great his work ethic is, how fast he is, how much he's impressing people.
Right.
We've yet to hear any of those things from the Browns regime.
that's
You
true.
do
we
hear
haven't
that
heard-
about Tony Romo. They force him to stay later now. He can't go golfing anymore.
Yeah.
That is true.
Like all season.
But that's also because Tony Romo has a lot to work on and a $106 million contract.
Yeah.
But why didn't he?
What does
care?
Johnny Manziel have?
Why didn't he?
Not a
care?
$106 million contract.
Why didn't he care before he got the contract? Then why didn't he care about his offseason?
No,
Why
I
didn't
think
they
they did care. I think they just highly invested in Tony Romo and him being such great friends with Jerry
Yeah.
Jones that they kind of, certain things would slide, right? And now that he's coming back, after he just was given a $106 million contract, he injured himself. And, come back off of an injury, coming back off of just like rehabilitation, we want to focus primarily on getting his skills better, because what poor way to invest $106 million by letting your $106 million just go out and party all night and not really focus on his game and strength, when the Dallas Cowboys have primarily known to be a bust every season in the last 5 seasons, especially with the teams that we had around us.
Yeah.
This season's a little different. We ran into a salary cap issue. The Dallas Cowboys have been facing a lot of just, in general, financial troubles with keeping stars on the team. So we got rid of a lot. Not only that, we also ran into some trouble with injuries and Sean Lee being injured. So this year, I don't say that the Cowboys' chances are looking anything good. I'm thinking they might be a little average, a little under average. And so I'm ready to see how we take that, prediction and go with it versus the usual prediction of we're going to
They
be
were
superstars.
comfortable with him in the offseason playing golf before,
Right.
and now that they paid him, and now they're saying that they're not comfortable with that. What other than money? What changed? Why is it that they were comfortable with it?
I think the fact
and
is
now
also more
now
injury prone, right? He's coming off
Yeah,
an
but-
injury. He's coming off rehabilitation. let's focus on you getting healthier and stronger so you can play through the whole entire season.
I mean, I don't even think it's about that. I think it's about the fact they pay Peyton Manning that kind of money. You see what Peyton Manning does, and
Right.
you see the kind of work Peyton Manning does.
Right.
Why ain't you doing that?
Yeah, Peyton Manning
Right.
had to go when he went to go watch Derek Jeter play. It was like in the first or second month of the season because he said, "I literally cannot find time to go
Right.
see Derek Jeter play for the rest of the summer."
Right.
Which tells me that Peyton Manning is in the room working film and like watching
Constantly,
everything
right.
he can and reading playbooks. And
You got Roman.
yeah, you
you
got
gotta think
Romo
about
and Manziel that are golfing and playing and partying, and
Well, so the way I see it is Manziel's a completely different animal compared to Romo. Romo, you got paid $106 million. I want you to be the smartest player on that field against the other team at all times.
If you're going to be in the
I
National
want
Football
you
League,
to-
regardless of your contract, you need to be putting in 100%. If they're going to be
Absolutely,
paying
but
you
what
to play a
makes you-
sport and you're going to be the head quarterback of a franchise, you need to be putting in that
What
effort.
makes you think that he's not putting in that effort? We're only the
But-
media is only focusing on Johnny Manziel going out and
Because-
partying in Vegas
because
and going out. and
Because the amount of time that it takes for you to go to a different time zone, to fly out to Vegas, to go party, that takes time and investment. There's a lot more investment into it than it looks like. Oh, let me just hop on the plane. Oh, let me go out to Vegas. You can spend that time in your playbook. There's no reason why you got to be going
what makes
out
you
and
think
doing
on
all
that plane
But-
he's not looking at a playbook or something? You know,
Oh,
I mean,
really?
let's just
Really?
it's just a question.
I'm sure
right?
he is, but you know, there's also probably guys that when he's not on that plane reading a playbook, they're probably in the room watching film while
Right.
they're reading the playbook, while they're next to the other guy in their position room that plays the same position as
Right.
them, getting hints and pointers from them. And the 100% thing, if Tony Romo is playing at 100% now because he's not playing golf, what percentage was he giving when he was?
Right.
Like,
I mean-
was he still giving it his 100%? Why did he have to give that up to give it 100%?
I think he was given. I don't think he was given 100%. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he was given 100%. I think he was focusing on it. I think he just had a lot of other interests, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, he was
those
obviously
interests
in
were
the football
those
season.
interests were clouding him. Like he was.
Yeah.
Was he not on the tour? I mean, so just to go back off of Romo's, I think money has a big issue, especially with the salary cap that the Cowboys have had trouble kind of relocating on other players and keeping talent around. And $106 million, I don't care who you are, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys has that contract, and that's why they're going to make him stay longer because we've invested so much into him. And there's already so much guaranteed for him if he doesn't play. And then we already have Cowboys already have trouble in the quarterback field with the possible retirement for Orton, and then we have the Cleveland quarterbacks that we're just trying to focus on, Brandon Weeden. I think that Tony Romo needs to be healthy because he knows our offense better than anybody else does, and I think that's what they're focusing on. But
Definitely.
yeah, so
All right. Well, guys, we'll have our recording up here in a second. All right. Brought to you by Aces. What's the timetable on that, Emron?
should be within the next 5 minutes.
All righty.
It says installing as we speak, so there's no time limit already posted.
You guys use the advertisements that are on the website, the spread. You guys go in there. We'll talk about the other shows.
Right. So, I mean, we want to also just give a shout out to our sponsor, AC Extreme Sports, for hosting us every Monday and Wednesday for our show. We try to entertain you guys as our guests as much as possible and try to spit off the dome with the sports and bring you guys the latest and greatest sports news as well as the blogs that we have. If you would visit acextremesports.com, you will find a lot of blogs that cover a variety of sports, from swimming to even WWE, for those who like wrestling. And then you got your, mainstays of football, basketball, soccer, and baseball. Maybe hockey. We'll see if it's going to come in the future or not. But check us out at acextremesports.com. That's acextremesports.com. So, I mean, back to Tony Romo in itself. I told you that's money invested. Johnny Manziel doesn't have money invested in him.
Yeah,
We all were.
He just got
Yeah.
this contract. He does have.
He's not like the franchise that I'm talking about.
If you invest in any kind of money in a player,
You're right.
You invest a pick
And
on a
only
player in the
first
first round.
That is true.
Nah.
Let me pose this question. When you're working, you wait for that, 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock to come around and those days off on the weekend, do you not?
I don't get days off on the weekend, so you're asking the wrong person.
Hypothetically, with your job,
If I had a day off on the weekend, yeah.
you look forward to it, right?
Sorta.
Sort of. You know you look
But
forward to it.
he's
I look
also
forward
not
to it.
making hundreds of thousands of dollars to play a game that
That
children
is
play
true.
for free.
But everyone's dancing at this. I mean, everyone's working at the same time, you know. So people are going to get fried. People are going to be burnt out after working constantly over and over and over and over again. Not many people can sit there, and I'm sure they're doing 2-a-days or whatever have you already practicing and training, and then they're in the summer heat. They might be, might not be. You know, he's after tryouts or after workouts. He's going to sit down in the movie theater room and watch film and study the playbook and figure out what's the strengths and weaknesses in their defense and offense, because the quarterback has to know that. The quarterback wants to know on the offense where's the strength, where's the weakness. Can I roll out of here? Is my line weaker here? What can we do to kind of get a stronger line or get a stronger offense built around me as the quarterback? He's gonna want to take a break, especially coming out of college. He's a college boy that still has
Man,
his
college
young
is
heart.
a break.
Yeah.
That's all they do is party.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all they do is party.
But I went to college. We all went to college. We know that it's
And you
also hard work.
partied.
And I studied too, Mom.
Well,
I did not
who would you
party.
say is the most respected head coach in the NFL?
Belichick.
I'll say Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So what would you say if the scouting report from the Patriots?
Hold on, does
leaked-
Jerry Jones count as a coach?
No, he's not. But what if
Are you
what if
sure?
what
Are you
if
sure?
what if I were to say the scouting report leaked from the Patriots that basically included them, including Bill Belichick, saying this is an undraftable player and steer clear of him?
I mean, like I said, a lot of people have their thoughts about Johnny Manziel.
But you
And
just
I
said that
agree
he's
with
the
Belichick.
most. You just said that if you had to pick the most respected head coach in the league, you'd pick
It'd be Bill Belichick, right? And,
So does
and I
his
agree
word
with
not-
this. I wouldn't. The way I see it is Johnny Manziel went late in the first round, right? 16 to be exact. I think he wasn't a first round. I think he was a first round caliber pick. Yes, I believe he went at the right time. I don't think he was a top 10 first rounder pick. I
He
think
went
we're-
22, I believe, or 23.
Are you sure it was 16?
Cowboys picked 16.
Because y'all had 16.
Your pick
and
was
you guys
16.
didn't take them.
Yeah.
And then Cleveland was right after him because
Nah.
Cleveland had a
It
pick
was
in the early
22nd.
20s. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was the
Yeah.
same exact pick they took with Brandon Weeden 2 years before. But he was a 20s, a mid 20s pick, early 20s, mid 20s.
Okay,
pick.
so yeah, so just
he-
about right.
He in any other draft. This was a year that did not have a franchise quarterback in it.
Right.
You're not going to call him a franchise quarterback yet in his career,
Nope.
but no, not Johnny Manziel. I'm going to say, but if Geno Smith had stayed one more year in school, I think he probably would have been the consensus number one overall
Overall
quarterback.
pick?
Or not number one overall pick, but number one overall quarterback.
Right.
And that right there would have knocked everyone else down a peg, which would
Right.
knock everyone down that was drafted a peg, which would, from my mind, the way quarterbacks were drafted were Bortles, Manziel, Bridgewater, all in the first round.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which would probably knock Manziel back down even farther into the first
Right.
round had a better quarterback been in the draft. So I think the fact that part of the population thinks he's a top 5 pick and another part of the population thinks that he's undraftable tells you quite a bit about his play. That it's not something that's a proven product.
Right.
And I think he's going to have some sort of success in the NFL purely based off of what Russell Wilson has been able to do and what RG3 has been able to do when he's healthy.
Right.
But I don't think he's proven that he's worth that kind of investment. Maybe he is for the Cleveland Browns, a franchise that's so downtrodden.
Yep.
But any other franchise, I don't think would have taken a pull on him. He had to personally text the coaching staff of the Browns, "Hey, come up."
Yeah, he
grab
did.
me."
He did.
That when else have you ever heard that when someone gets passed on, they have to text the team, "Hey, come try to get me."
Never.
It's-
I've never heard
That's like, to me, that's fear.
But that's him showing initiative
That's a tangible
as well.
form
It
of
is-
fear.
It is a tangible form of fear, but that's also him showing initiative, saying like, "Look, I know what I'm made of.
Mm-hmm.
They're all passing up on me. I'm scared that I'm not going to go first in the first round, and that'll kind of hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
But do we let me just go ahead and assert myself and reach out to the coach that's been looking into me, and they were scared to jump the gun or pull the trigger. Let me reach out to him and be like, look, trust in me, and I guarantee you I'll perform. What if that's him showing initiative and being assertive about the
could
fact
be.
that I know what I'm made of.
Yeah.
His stats in school definitely showed that he's a really good player. Now,
He was also playing with the number
Yeah.
one wide receiver
Yeah.
or number 2 in wide receiver in the country.
right.
And that does skew things a little bit, but it's all depends. I don't know how they're gonna. I mean,
Would he have been the number 2 wide receiver without Johnny Manziel? Now let's think about that, right? There's a pro and
Well, you
con
have
to
to
both.
think-
Nah, Johnny Manziel wouldn't have been that good of a quarterback without
Mike
him.
Evans. Yeah.
Anyways, with that being said, let's get started.
Let's get started,
We're getting
man.
started. All right.
All right, so we're gonna give a countdown. 5.
Oh wait. We're starting like 5 seconds here.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
we're
are we-
starting like now. It's gonna be the good morning.
All right.
We missed it last week. Brandon tried to fill you in.
All
Fill in
right.
for you. Excuse
So
me.
what are we starting? I just need to know before we start. We're doing World Cup and then NBA and then
Let's-
and AFC East.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
start off with World Cup and then the
Okay.
draft and then the AFC East.
Okay.
Right? All right. So we'll start in 3, 2.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, folks. Whenever you might be listening to our program here at Cover 3, brought to you by Aces. Another week. I missed out last week. Sorry about that if you were missing my voice. here
We
on the
were.
program.
We were missing your voice.
Good to
But,
have you back.
I'm back here with, I'll say it properly this time, the BG Wooten and Emron Aziz here to talk some
That's
sports
gonna
with you
that's gonna
guys.
bother me,
Yeah,
man.
recognize.
We have a few things on the
Recognize.
docket today. First being FIFA, as we've been talking about here, as the World Cup is going on. Next is going to be free agency. We had some studs, specifically of the big 3, opting out of their contracts. We don't know exactly what that's going to mean. And then some AFC East talk as well. And before you guys talk about everything that went on, wins and losses wise in the World Cup, we have to hit on the cultural event, I guess, that went on during the World Cup, which was not cultural, but the bite heard around the world, I guess you could call it. I don't know. We'd have to touch on
So
that.
you missed it.
You-
so you missed it
you-
last
yeah.
show.
That was last show.
That was
Yeah.
Suarez's veneers and chompers.
here
Last
is-
show was
okay.
brought
But
to
we
you
can
by-
talk about the fallout because we definitely.
Yeah,
I
we
was
can talk about the fallout.
I was coming for his neck.
Hold on, we could talk about the punishments. We had a poll. I don't know if we had blogged about it. I know I didn't actually forgot about that. So that poll was not put up there. But Willie, I believe, he said ban him from the World Cup, and I think that was it, right? Completely ban him from the World Cup.
Yeah, but let him play. For,
Let him play for Liverpool or wherever he goes. You know, wherever.
How old is he?
I have no idea to be honest.
That's
Pretty
a good
young,
question.
I feel like.
He's
He has to be pretty young to do
Mid-20s,
something
I
that's
believe.
stupid.
Yeah.
But
Well, I just find it ridiculous is that, well, since you guys last talked about it on the program, that he came out and was adamant about the fact that he didn't do it.
27.
And
Yeah.
now he's come out and said that he is never going to bite again, that he really did do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And my personal point on this that I heard someone say, which struck a note in my head, was force him to wear a mouth guard the rest of his career. And whenever he tries to spit it out or take it out when he's on the field, he's immediately red card and he has to keep it in his mouth whenever he's playing.
I
So,
think
but would you
that's
ban
a little
him?
over the top.
Would you ban him
Would I ban?
from the World
No, I'm
Cup?
talking
or
about
would you
this is
suspend
after.
him?
Oh yeah,
Right,
I'm
no,
talking
so
about whatever.
that would be a punishment,
Yeah,
right?
the punishment that they gave him, I feel like is 100% fine.
Right.
But then on top of that, I feel like they should force him to wear a mouth guard because
Okay.
he's proven that he is not mentally stable in my mind, and I feel like maybe another even part
Right.
of this is make sure that he gets checked out from like a psychiatrist or someone
Right.
that can actually see that his mental health is all there. I'm not
Right.
joking
No,
about it.
right.
either.
I completely
honestly
understand.
like it's disturbing that someone does something that first bites someone once, maybe where he's in a fit of rage.
But we've seen
But-
biting in the sports world, in the sports realm, times before, i.e. Mike Tyson. I brought this up last
but that's
time.
i.e. Mike Tyson, the only incident that people can really point
recall because he actually ripped off the
Yeah,
man's ear. Right?
yeah.
He had an Oreo for breakfast. Regardless, we've seen it happen before. Now, does it tie to the mental state of mind of that player, or does it tie to the fact that he wants to win? He wants to do this. You don't know that, right? So I agree. Sure,
But
there
I
should
do
be
know
It
that.
could be you could do a mental test, but at the same time, somebody being that hungry, literally, and every pun intended on that. I mean, could go for
But
a
you can
fight just
do-
to kind of like get the upper
But what?
edge on
But
somebody.
here's the thing: what is gonna be the end goal of that bite? That is gonna be better than anything else he could do that's illegal.
I really don't know.
So I feel like that is where things come into play, where he's thought,
He
"Oh,
might have-
I've bitten someone before."
He might
What
have
happened
thought
from
that the
that?
bite is a
He
little more
bites
discreet,
someone
you know?
again. I don't know, when you're being watched in an event that's watched worldwide, especially during this time of the year.
He didn't get carded in the game. So
Oh yeah, but that's
So if
also
he
like
would've
I don't know
gone
the
in-
rules, but do
right.
they have an instant replay system in soccer?
They do. I mean,
Like,
no, not really.
no.
Not an instant
So
replay
see,
to
if they
call back
did
a
have
foul.
the kind of thing like that, that could be brought up. But when
Right.
that's the same thing in baseball. If someone doesn't see something, or football, someone doesn't see something, you can't do
It's
anything
not
about
right.
it after the fact. But that assuredly would have been a card had someone actually
Oh, yeah,
seen
he would have been
what
ejected.
would have happened.
Yeah, he would have been.
Yeah.
he would have been ejected. But what I'm saying is, so he did that. He got away with it clean and
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a card. I mean, sure, they had replays of the video, and it made
Yeah.
such a worldwide, roar that
Yeah.
his punishment came after the fact. He did that versus going in and sliding the dude that was in the box, right? Sliding his opponent, doing a slide tackle and getting a possible red card. That's more likely to happen because it's much more visual for him to go in
Yeah.
and slide tackle somebody, and that's much more like obvious that okay, he
Yeah.
might get ejected, or it wasn't a good
Yeah.
contest to the ball that you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But him going for a bite, he was like, I could most likely get away with this. I've done it before.
That's where the mental health comes into play because he's done it twice before, and had he not been,
Right.
people have the fact that people already know that he's done it twice before. He should know that he can't get away with it,
Right.
because that's where sanity starts to come into play.
Well, now he can't, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, you think that he should wear a mouth guard?
I think
actually,
he should be forced to wear a mouth guard the rest of his career and
I
take
think-
a mental exam to see if he's
Sure.
fit to even be with other athletes on a field.
a mental exam. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
the justification for that, and
Yeah.
I agree that he should wear a mouth guard because
Yeah.
that's actually a way to prevent that.
Yeah, it's a way to prevent it. Like
You had previously said on the show his punishment would be to ban from Liverpool in itself
No.
for the year this season.
Suspend him for the season from
Right.
Liverpool.
Excuse me,
And
suspend
then
him for the season.
ban him from
and
the
then
World
ban him
Cup.
from the World Cup, right?
Mhm.
Weren't too far off.
Mhm.
And then
I mean, he got 9 month suspension from.
I want you to wear a shirt next time with the punishment because I was right, and I'll wear the 5. Spurs and 5, as long as you wear Suarez's chompers on your.
I
back.
mean, you can't get a shirt for getting a punishment correct.
Oh, I'm gonna put
That-
Suarez's veneers.
you
on
want to
the
be?
front.
Do you want to be a corrections
I'll
officer
make,
now?
I'll make this for you. I'm gonna put
You want
Suarez's
to be a
veneers.
judge? We'll just call you judge. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, just
All
call
right,
me
you're judge.
All I want you to do is wear Suarez's veneers.
I'm not
on the
wearing
front,
no picture
and
of
on the
Suarez.
back, It
No.
just says punishment.
No.
And I'll rock Spurs with Game 5.
That's
All right, so
calling that the defending champions are going to go down in 5 games. The level of magnitude of that compared to, oh yeah, he's going to get this.
for a third-time
I think.
offender on a
a
worldwide
competition committee is
stage.
going to decide something.
Yeah,
Two
get out of
guys playing
here.
a
Get out of
Uh,
here.
But
Spurs in 5.
The other, I do
We
believe that.
still kind of had a little poll on it where we disagreed, did we not? And you got yours and I got mine.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't equate. It doesn't equate.
All right, all right.
Well,
all right.
the other thing that happened, I believe, after you guys recorded last week was that the U.S. tied with Germany. Or they
We lost. We
lost
lost.
to Germany, but advanced.
But still got through. Didn't even
we
matter.
still advanced.
Didn't matter.
So
And that's all that mattered.
we are now in the group of 16.
Just get in.
1 game away from being in the group of 8.
Yeah.
We win this.
Yep.
Yep.
So, what is the outlook of U.S. soccer this season and for future World Cups to come?
Well, I think USA this season is looking great, especially against our match against Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
I think USA, the way they have played in the group match, all that. Now they're in the elimination round. Can definitely withstand against Belgium. I think Belgium played poorly in the group matches. I mean, if you were watching the Belgium games, I don't think that they played anywhere up to the caliber of USA.
Yeah, their groups weren't.
Yeah, their
Group
competition
H
was
is
Their
pretty
competition was subpar comparatively to our competition that we had in the USA, group of death. Not only that, they were also struggling with those teams. USA would struggle a little bit here and there, but they had shown to be, if not neck to neck equal, or a little bit better, right? And they had showed and played throughout the whole time. I'm gonna eat my words because they definitely made me eat my words. They made all of us on the show eat our words because they got past the group of death.
Well, I do believe that when we were making our statements about what the U.S. is going to do, I said they're going to just win it all. I just said this statement because I do not know much about soccer. So technically, if they do win it
Okay.
all, I did
Fair
predict
enough.
that.
You did predict it,
Yeah.
but
It was based off no
might go
intellect.
down.
It was.
I think it was those I believe commercials.
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe.
Hey.
I believe that we will
I mean,
win.
well, if we do beat Belgium and advance to the group of 8, Or do you think we are realistically considered a top 8 international team in the world? Or
We should be.
We'll never will be though.
We never will be. We won't get the respect that we deserve because people will always be like, "Oh, it was luck clouded
Yeah.
around it," or
Ex-
"Oh, there was
except
bad
for all the
day.
other teams are
Ronaldo
not
was
out.
injured. They're gonna have excuses, but us as Americans and people that actually are watching the game itself and not making excuses for it will know that USA is a caliber of a team this year, especially with Jurgen Klinsmann as our coach, to pass up on Landon Donovan, which was a big stir up back when we submitted the 23-man roster. For us to make it to the 8, if we do, and I think we will, we should be considered a top 8 international team because we're in the top 8 bracket of the World Cup. It's in plain sight, plain pictures, and flashing lights. USA, we're in the top 8.
Quick interjection there. I'm going to change the topic. We'll be back to it in a second. But me and Brandon were talking the other night
Right.
about when you said roster of 23 or team of 23, it made me think a favorite player of Brandon's, Mario Balotelli,
Yeah.
wears number 45 on his club team. He wears
Yes.
number 9 in the World Cup.
Yes.
I stumbled upon the fact that in the World Cup, they all wear numbers 1 through 23 because there's 23 people on the team,
Right.
which got us to talking about jersey numbers.
Okay.
Please shoot us your questions or comments on the fact of jersey numbers and how they pertain to sports. Do you have a favorite jersey number? Does it matter what number a player is wearing? Send those questions and comments to cover3questions@gmail.com. You'll hear that read here on the air.
Yeah.
Personally, I think 21 is probably the coolest jersey number. What about you, Brandon? If you had to go out and what do you think of all time in sports? It's like a number that's just recognizable. Like that's a cool number jersey that guy's wearing out there.
I mean, obviously 23.
Jordan.
And LeBron's original number.
But when I was coming up, well, when I was playing ball, I guess the number I always tried to go for was 32. Because I was a huge Dr. J fan as a kid.
Okay.
I was that kid that would watch like ESPN classics at 2 in the morning, and I was supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely that. So I loved watching Dr. J. Who else? Would be a cool number.
15. I'm going to throw out 15.
You like 15?
Vince Carter, Vince Sanity, right when he came out. I mean, even before that, I just like 15 for whatever reason, because my older brother's favorite number was 15.
Mm-hmm.
But when Vince Carter came on the spot and put 15 in the limelight, it kind of just set it in stone for me that every time I think of basketball, I'm going to think of 15. 15 and 23. 23 of the great MJ himself. And then 15 because Vince Sanity in that 2001 dunk contest just took it away and blew my mind as I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So being able to see that and witness that, I was like, yes, by all time, I will always wear 15 and try to wear 15 if I could playing basketball here on up.
I thought you were about to say Carmelo at first. I was about to
Carmelo.
be upset.
And then
No, we know how you feel about Carmelo. But anyways, and for football, I like 81 and 88. So 81 you think of.
I think
Terrell Owens.
I like all double digits, specifically 77. I think double digits just look clean. It's like
88 just looks real clean. I think 88 is probably.
88
I
looks
played
cool.
receiver. When I played little league and when I tried out for football, I quit because subsequently I didn't have a high school experience and blah blah. It was all politics, whatever have you. I like 88, and I always went for 88 because Michael Irvin, granted his blemishes in his career and whatever have you, still was an awesome all-star and still had the ability to catch, and that number looked great on him.
Yeah.
Now you think about
47.
okay, go ahead, 47.
Chris Cooley.
Well, no, I'm talking about Michael Irvin at the U.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he wore
47,
47 at the U. I forgot about that.
That was a great
That
number.
is also the number Chris Cooley made famous here in Washington.
Yeah, it was.
That's the number Gio Gonzalez wears for the Nats. There's something that people really don't think about that often, jersey, but obviously athletes are very important. You hear all the time about
It's a huge deal.
trading
Huge
money and people buy if you build a new patio at my mansion, I'll give you this
the
number.
number.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And then
What's
people,
I was just telling you the story the other night. What's Rodney
Rodney Harrison.
Rodney Harrison? Yeah, he came out and said when he was playing, one of the guys, he didn't specify what players it was, but two guys were talking about trying to get jersey numbers, and one guy was like, "Hey, you can have my girlfriend
Yeah. That
in exchange
Right,
for the jersey numbers."
Right.
And Rodney Harrison's Just
Yeah.
bro, you don't love your girl at all.
It's the jersey
Well,
numbers are crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How
People go-
far they'll
It's the
get.
dark
Yeah,
world of
people,
sports.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they will sell their mom for a jersey number.
Yeah, or like, and they'll choose him off, create like Plaxico Burress when he signed with your New York Giants. He chose number 17. He had classically worn, I believe, 80 in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
He chose 17 because he signed his contract on March 17th. So it's weird how people think the numbers are that.
But also, it's kind of cool. Like when Deion Sanders went to the
He wore
Ravens and he wore
'cause he
37.
was age 37.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was cool.
That was
as
pretty
well.
cool to do that.
Very cool as well. We'll be getting back to our World Cup talk here in just a second, guys.
Yeah.
Talk with a few of our sponsors here at Atlantic Coast Extreme Sports, also known as ACES. Check us out on Facebook at Atlantic Coast Extreme Sports. Look at our website at acextremesports.com or our website for our blog here at cover3.weebly.com. You'll be able to find the Ustream link if you're only listening to this in audio, or if you're watching it on Ustream, you'll be able to find the audio link if you maybe want to download this and listen to it on the run. You'll see links to our other blogs we have going here at ACES. And you can always send your feedback, comments, concerns, questions, omissions, things we might have not touched on the show that you'd like to get your opinion heard about. Shoot all those questions at cover3questions@gmail.com. That's cover3 with the numerical 3 questions@gmail.com.
Yep.
And then we're talking about the World Cup before we had that little interject with the numbers there.
Yeah.
So,
let's just. You want to do a World Cup recap?
well, I mean, I never got the chance to talk about the USA game. You know, y'all
Yeah.
kind of just shut me out. And you just,
Well,
you know?
you're in Aziz's arena, right? So BD's corner only gets some limelight.
Excuse me. Anyway, so
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. I'm
no, we're getting upset. Everybody was getting upset about the USA losing. No, Germany was supposed to destroy us. We
We did
lost
it. We played
by
it on the game.
1 goal.
And
We
they're
lost
known
by
as
1
one
goal.
of the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
And the goal wasn't.
I mean, they are predicted to go to the finals, if not win the finals.
Yeah, that's what everybody's.
I mean, that's what everybody's
pulling
saying.
for. I see Germany and Netherlands in the
Yeah.
final, and to see that we only surrendered 1 goal. Plus, we were playing after playing in Manaus, where nobody
Right.
won playing in Manaus. The field was flooded beforehand.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I
that
mean,
we
it
only
was
surrendered 1 goal. to
raining
them.
too. So I
Yeah,
mean,
the game,
initially
it was
we're-
still raining.
It was kind of against us. It was against what the world think that USA can play on, like the turf and the environment. But and the fact that Germany is a much more physical team, everybody assumes. But we went out there and
Are they faster?
no,
Do they have more endurance?
yes. You know,
Does,
I
it,
knew
does
you were gonna bring
endurance
this up.
lead to speed? Does,
Actually, no. Endurance does not lead to speed, because you got track runners, and then you got. Anyways, you guys you're gonna make me.
I'm
You're
not-
gonna make me mad on. You know,
I did not
you
bring
don't want me to
anything
start
up.
this conversation,
I
Brandon.
did
That's
not
why.
bring
You know what?
anything up.
Anyways,
well, sorry to speak. I just saw this here on NFL.com, but Maurice Jones-Drew, you mentioned like 32.
Yeah.
I mentioned like 21. He is wearing number 21 with the Ravens.
Didn't he wear that in college?
you know, I'm gonna
At
quickly
UCLA.
interject.
I think he wore that
He
at
may
UCLA.
have.
I'm gonna
He
quickly
may have.
interject and go back to our Jersey talk, because we have one of our listeners asking how do we feel about the NBA. You know, rumors are about the NBA starting to
The
put ads on the
sponsorships.
jerseys.
I've heard a couple sides of the coin on this. I feel like it's inevitable for the NBA, strictly because they are not the number one sport, or at least not the most classic sport either. I'd put
Right.
number one sport in the country is obviously NFL football. I'd say the most historical sport is the MLB.
Yeah.
Those are two
Right.
sports that you're not going to see this happen to anytime soon.
Right.
But the NBA, they're a different breed of sport. And
mean,
they're-
NBA
we've already seen them introduce them into the WNBA.
Yep.
There's a team in Phoenix, I want to say. A listener might can correct me if I'm wrong. The logo on the front of their jerseys is their 2 advertisements. You don't even see the name of their team on the front of their jersey. It's an advertisement, number advertisement.
Right.
That's how it is with world soccer. You know, world football.
Yeah.
You don't have team names or anything on the jerseys.
Yeah.
You just have the crest and then the sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the jerseys are so iconic that
People start to think about
You
their
already
team.
know.
Yeah, well, see, that's where I feel like problems might ensue. Where someone like LeBron, who we already heard talk about during the NBA Finals about his whole Gatorade Powerade conundrum, about how he has to take the Gatorade labels off
Right.
the bottles.
Right.
What if he were to, whatever team he ends up signing with, or if he stays with the Heat, we don't know. We'll get into that discussion later in the show. But let's say that team, the sponsor of them is Gatorade. How is that gonna conflict with him being a Powerade sponsor?
Very true.
Are players going to be able to?
Is that what he's on? He's on Powerade?
He's Powerade,
Okay.
and then Gatorade is a sponsor of the NBA.
Okay.
So he's technically not allowed to drink Powerade on the sidelines.
Was that necessary?
But Gatorade, if you're listening, that was a. But I personally wouldn't,
This
since
guy.
I don't own any soccer jerseys. I'm not used to buying something. But if this were to ever go into NFL or MLB, even though the Nationals aren't a classic team, they've only been around for roughly a decade now.
It's one of the earlier teams.
Well,
go back to
the Senators were, but we did that.
That whole like transition of the Nationals is just ridiculous because
yeah.
there were like 3 different teams, and
Yeah,
there was
and
one
the
point where there were the
Senators,
Nationals,
yeah.
and
when the Expos moved from Montreal to Washington and we became the Nationals.
that's like I guess that's like the true lineage.
Yeah, 2000. I'd say that.
They were the Rangers at one
Well,
point too.
I'm
and the
not.
Twins.
I'm not going to consider. Well, no. What happened was we moved the Senators to Texas, and they became the Rangers, and then eventually the Expos became a team, and they moved to Washington. I think that's the history of it.
There's 3 teams that feed into the Nationals.
I think we're getting away from the question
Okay,
itself,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
saying
we'll save that
that's a
for
different
another
conversation in
yeah.
itself.
Basically, what I'm saying is I couldn't, even though let me change it to a team like the Cubs. They're a very historical team in the
Right.
MLB. I don't see someone that's been a lifelong fan in the Cubs going out to a store and buying a jersey that has a
Pepsi or
big,
Coke
a
or
big
whatever
giant
have you.
Pepsi or Mountain Dew logo going
Right.
across it because it looks as bad as non-point as it sounds like. It just looks awkward. It looks weird.
Well, it can be done.
It's based on whoever you've never seen it in baseball, so therefore
I've seen it in, I believe it's in Japanese baseball, if
They
I'm
do
not
have it.
mistaken.
Yeah.
And it's the first thing I noticed when I watched highlights of these pitching phenoms that come over from Japan.
Right.
It's the
Right.
first thing I noticed as well. We don't have that in U.S. sports, and it's the kind of thing where in the past they didn't even allow like Ichiro Suzuki to put Suzuki on the back of his jersey because it looked like an advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's something that the NBA or NFL is going to be worried about anytime soon because they're 2 sports that I feel like are set in their revenue. And
well, you're always looking to make more money.
you are always looking to make more money, but I feel like it may end up being you're going to make money from the sponsors, but you might lose money from jersey sales and lose money from merchandise sales.
I don't know.
Well, to go back to Sal's question itself, I think the NBA. Let's just focus primarily on the NBA. I understand baseball and football. I think the NBA has had troubles in the past with viewership and and having just like revenue
people
coming to the
only
games.
tuning in for the
Right.
playoffs.
Yep.
I can count myself into that loop.
Right.
I normally
And
only tune in during
So
the
now
playoffs.
the WNBA also has the same exact problem, although at a much more grander scale, right?
Yeah.
At least in the NBA, you still have your people that still want to watch. Like me, I still watch
Yeah.
because I like basketball, but it's not to the grand
They
scheme of
need
things.
revenue from these sponsors
Right.
coming in.
It's not like football or baseball
Yeah.
who people just go to the games and love it and love the atmosphere and this and that.
Yeah.
Basketball's been struggling with that. So them bringing sponsorships to the jerseys will kind of help them add to the revenue that's already, in a sport that's kind of struggling to gain viewership and sponsors in itself, right? You see,
I would not say that whatsoever.
but their viewership
Would
of
not
the
say
NBA regular season has been down.
It's been picking back up.
It has.
No, it's been picking up like tremendous numbers
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
past 6 years.
But it's fairly recent versus what the numbers were record lows when we were growing up.
Well, because you had no.
Superstars, like
No, you had superstars.
but you mainly had one, and
Yeah.
that was Michael Jordan.
Right.
And
Exactly.
now we have almost
LeBron,
half the
Kobe,
teams in the
Kevin
league, I would
Durant,
say,
yeah.
have a superstar on the team.
Right.
Like, you obviously still have teams like the Bucks.
Right.
They maybe hope Jabari Parker becomes that guy
Yep.
eventually. But they're a team that doesn't have a superstar. The Utah Jazz, they don't have a superstar. The Raptors, they don't have a superstar. A lot of these other teams, though, the Wizards, I say they have what's soon to become a superstar in John Wall.
Right.
The Mavs, even though they're not a huge, I mean, Dallas, I guess, is a market, but they're probably not one of the more popular teams in the league. They
Right.
have Dirk. The Spurs have Tim Duncan. Like, there's
Spurs at 5.
I think this is
Yeah.
a great segue for us to go into the NBA talking itself.
Well, before we do that, let's wrap up one thing at a time.
Okay, well let's wrap up
the jersey.
the World
Yeah,
Cup.
well,
Let's just wrap that up
I
first.
thought we were wrapping up the jersey sponsor.
Now we'll we'll get back to the World Cup,
Yeah,
but
but-
wrap this
Okay.
up.
I see within the next few years, 2 to 3 years, I think sponsorships are going to start popping up NBA jerseys.
I do think so as well.
NFL, MLB, no way, no how. I'm not gonna. As bad as it sounds, I don't know if I want to go out and buy an Alfred Morris jersey, like someone that I don't have a jersey for, when I know that this advertisement is put on there. Maybe I like that company, maybe I don't. When I already know that Dan Snyder is sitting in his giant mansion on the Potomac, cutting trees down at will, and has enough money to do whatever he pleases, and his franchise is already like one of the top 3 money-making franchises in the NFL. He has no need for this extra revenue that is like smirking the name that we're wearing.
But if you think of it, like in World Soccer, that money goes straight to the team. It doesn't go to the owner's pocket. It goes straight to
Yeah.
the team. So the team can sign better players. The team that's team
Well-
money. That's how it's money. So if my Knicks can get more money to go and pick up
Well,
LeBron
in
and
the
Carmelo,
NBA, that is.
yeah. But if they can go get more money
Yeah.
to pick up LeBron and Carmelo, just because they add Coca-Cola on the
Yeah.
front of their jersey, I'm all
Well,
for it.
I believe they're already doing it in the summer and D leagues, aren't they?
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
They do.
But even case in point, in the NFL, if the Giants were to just add a Coca-Cola on the front of the jerseys, and that meant they could pick up one extra player,
But see,
free
I
agency.
doubt it's gonna. Still a salary cap. The salary cap isn't gonna change from that. There's still a salary cap. Here's where I would approve of this. Okay, football is the most ridiculously expensive thing to go watch because they can still have a sellout crowd and charge that much money. If them putting advertisements on the jerseys leads to me not having to pay a full page, like all this money to go and watch a football game, if it lowers the price of seats, I'm all for it. It's not going to happen though. Dan Snyder isn't going to let that advertising money make seats at a lower price.
Yeah, the advertising money is not going to go towards the general public, and then like the seats are still going to be the same price.
Yeah.
Those advertisers are just going to really help the team, like Brandon was saying, and
I don't think it's going to help the team at all when there's a salary cap in it. Maybe in baseball where there's no salary cap.
right.
In football where there's a salary cap, I don't think so. I don't think it's something that's already set in how much money there is. It's not going to affect it. If it affects the ticket prices, or if Dan Snyder doesn't need to charge for parking passes,
Right.
things of that nature, I'm all for it.
Right.
But when the rich are just getting richer,
Right.
and the people that already are loyal to the fan base and already going out and buying that merchandise have to just put something else on them, like let's say
logo,
like this
you
is
know.
an area where let's say you live in the Northern Virginia area and you work for Coke, you drop Coke products off, and you're a Washington Redskins fan,
Right.
and you go out and want to buy a jersey and it has Pepsi on it,
Right.
and then you have like a work day where they let you wear jerseys to work, but
Yeah.
you can't wear anything Pepsi by law
Because-
at Coke.
yeah,
So then now
right.
you can't wear your favorite jersey to work. Like, I know it sounds like
Find
a crazy,
another sport.
Yeah, now it sounds. I know that sounds crazy and absurd,
I
but
mean,
it's the kind of thing that could
yeah.
actually happen. Like,
I'm glad you brought that point up because it's a different way of thinking, right?
Yeah.
Aside from the fact that it's going to generate and bring revenue, or have whatever have you with that team, it'll bring it. But
like the
now-
guy that's already making $500 million now makes $530 million.
Right.
Like, that's where the problem comes in for me. It's not going to help me out as a fan at all. So I can't see. I don't like it. For at least for sports that I really enjoy to watch, I don't like it. I mean, it's already something that's very prevalent in NASCAR. We're not very well versed in NASCAR,
Right.
but it's something that is extremely prevalent in that world.
Yeah.
And it's part of the thing. It's like,
I mean, you
if
see-
you're a Dale fan, when he was rocking the Diet Dew car or the Amp car,
Uh-huh.
you would probably wear a shirt with that because this is how
Right.
things are going.
But so do you think it's a good idea for the NBA to bring sponsorships? I mean, we could wrap that up. Do you think that the NBA should have sponsorships from the jerseys or not?
If it affects ticket prices and if it affects the fans not having to pay so much money or the jerseys not being as much money, I'm all for it. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay. What about you? In the BG's corner.
Nah, we ain't in BG's corner right now. That's a separate segment, man.
No, I apologize.
that's
I
a thing in
apologize.
itself, man. You can't force the BG's corner. Nah.
If Melo had a Coke on his jersey, would that be BG's corner worthy.
Melo needs to get hit in the face with a V8.
He would more realistically be rocking an RC Cola based off of what his recent
Definitely a
track record has
surge.
been.
Definitely a surge.
Expired. I say, I'm a soccer fan, and they all have it. It doesn't make a difference to me because I don't remember a time when they didn't have sponsors
Right,
on the
right.
jerseys because that was probably in the 70s and 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't even alive to see that.
Right.
But I wouldn't have a problem with it. I would buy the jerseys. I buy soccer jerseys regularly. And I mean, they come out with new
If
jerseys
they're at
every
the same
season.
price, like one season you can go buy a Knicks jersey. Like let's say you were to go buy let's say LeBron came to the Knicks, okay?
Of course.
And
Right.
that there's a jersey sitting on the rack from last season okay, let me rephrase my statement here. LeBron signs to the Knicks next season, okay?
Right.
And then you wait to buy a jersey until his second season in New York. You go to the store, you can buy a Knicks jersey from the year before that has no advertisements on it, or
Right.
you can buy the Knicks jersey that has advertisements on it. They're the same exact price. Which one are you going to buy?
You're gonna buy the one without advertisement.
Okay.
Well,
That's
if it's the current season jersey,
Let's say
Yeah.
they look absolutely 100% the same except for the
advertisement
advertisements.
placement. Yeah, without advertisements. If it's that
Yeah.
current year's jersey.
you know what? If it's the current year jersey and that's what they're all wearing on the court, I kind of want the current jersey.
With all the advertisements.
Yeah, I'm the guy who likes to get the new updated jerseys
Yeah.
every season. I like to have the alternate colorways, all that. So I like the updated stuff.
All right.
I mean, it might be the same exact thing, but I want the one that's the players are wearing right now.
I hear that. So you think that it's a good idea? Let's just wrap this.
It'll help. I think it'll help.
I think
If,
it'll
if,
help.
I don't think the NBA is in dire need of it. I
Right.
don't think
Do you
we're
think
that
it's going
badly.
to affect ticket prices, or
No.
it's going to affect parking, or it's going to affect jersey prices?
No,
No.
I mean if it
It's
might
a
lower them.
possibility. It's a
And
possibility.
that's what I mean. If it lowers them,
But
I'm all for it.
I don't think it will happen. I think it's a good idea for the sponsorships to come on the jerseys because I also like soccer and it doesn't really affect me from buying a jersey. But also to your standpoint, if it does lower, then we're all for it. But if you guys have any questions about those or any opinions on that as well, shoot them to cover3questions@gmail.com and we'll happily touch upon it. As soon as possible.
And we will wrap that World Cup talk up in just a second. But just to let you guys know, we are being brought to you right now by Aces, along with Sprint in the U.S. here, and Stonebridge Athletics, a high school here in the Northern Virginia area. They're running offense and defense football camps all summer long. We'll keep you updated on those as that time comes. And Atlantic Coast, you can check us out at acextremesports.com. Check out our Facebook page. If you have any inquiries into advertising and you want to get your name heard on the show, please shoot us questions at our Facebook or at cover3questions@gmail.com. We'll be open to any and all discussion, and maybe you'll hear your business on our program in the future if you're a sports fan. And some final points about the World Cup, guys. What would you like to say? What do you think is going to be happening in the future here?
I think USA is going to beat Belgium. I think we're going to make it to the Elite Eight, and I think that's going to be just where we end off. I think we made a great run. We've shocked the world already as it is to get to the top 16. I think us getting to the top 8 is going to make USA a big contender from here on out in the world of sports, in the world of FIFA in itself, in the World Cup itself. So I think we beat Belgium, and I think that's where our victory kind of just
And
ends. It hurts me to say it. I'm heartbroken, being brown in America. It hurts me to say it that our victory might come to an end. I say might because I'm very hopeful, but I think it's a bigger possibility it'll come to an end in the Elite Eight versus the Sweet 16.
yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. I definitely think I think we'll be able to pull it out. I'm not. I don't want to give a score yet. Well, I mean the game is tomorrow. I can't do too much more research. I don't want to give a score, but I can see it going to PKs. Like, don't be surprised if it goes to PKs.
Right.
You got defender Thomas Vermaelen. I don't know how to pronounce. I can't pronounce it right. I'm not good at these the European last names, but he's out. And then Vincent Company,
Yeah,
the striker, or midfield, he's doubtful also.
right.
So our chances are pretty good. Plus Josie Altidore coming back. We got him in that striker, and that's some fresh legs out there. So I am excited about that. Hopefully that
Yeah.
goes through.
I completely forgot that he's coming back. That should be. Hopefully, he doesn't pull another hamstring or something. But we could definitely use his talent and his speed.
Yeah. So and then also, we can go back and talk about the scores from the other night. Brazil beating Chile
Right.
4-3.
Yep.
The penalty kicks.
This is my favorite part. The recap. So go ahead.
Colombia beating Uruguay. That felt so sweet. I'm so happy about that.
Well, you know,
I'm so happy. And you know what? It just proved that they weren't supposed to be there.
I'm kind of.
Ball don't lie.
I'm not. Oh my God! I'm so happy because Suarez didn't play, so that was all right with me. If Suarez played,
The fact that they lost made it even better.
yeah, but Suarez is not going
You
to.
see, I was composed when we were talking about Suarez, 'cause I'm happy about that.
Suarez's actions speak for the whole team. So yeah, Uruguay played a great game, and Colombia is just a really good team, and they've shown to be a good team. I think that I wanted Uruguay to win in that game. Actually, I wanted them to know that they were better without Suarez, and that Suarez didn't have to stoop that low to do what he
Nope.
had to do. That's why I was pulling for Uruguay, because the rest of the team should not be punished for Suarez's mistake. But that's my own opinion. Suarez is done, so I mean, if Uruguay was still in it, I'd be all for Uruguay trying to get to the Elite Eight.
Next, you had the Netherlands beating Mexico. That's
Yeah.
my pick. The Netherlands is my pick to get through.
That was our pick. We
Into
had
the
that last
final.
show, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm happy they came through.
Yeah.
Just win. Came through in the last couple minutes. So.
Yeah, they didn't even have to go to PKs.
Nope.
Yeah, which was they were looking shaky the whole entire game.
Mhm.
They weren't on their A game like they were in the group matches, but they came through and they found their rhythm in the end.
Yep.
So good for them.
Then you also had Costa Rica beating Greece 6-4 after penalties.
Right.
Costa Rica is a complete underdog story. Keep coming through. I mean, Greece.
Hold on, was it Willie that said Costa Rica all the way?
Yeah.
I believe it was.
I don't know if he meant all the way.
No, he said all the way.
All the way, like winning the whole
He
thing.
said all
Is that
the
what he
way.
meant?
He
Did he
said
mean
all
out
the
of the
way.
group, or did he mean?
He meant
No.
all the
I thought.
way.
Wow.
And that's why I said that's.
I mean, yeah, underdog story.
Crazy
Still
talk.
pulling-
Crazy
yeah,
talk.
still pulling through.
Yeah.
France beating Nigeria in the last minute.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked that France came out so slow and
They ended up getting 2 goals. I mean, that own goal.
the own
on
goal
Nigeria was-
got him
Yeah.
through. But yeah, that was a shock here. Then you had
Germany,
Germany
Algeria.
just beating Algeria 2-1 after extra time.
If you saw that game, Algeria was a contender. That entire game, they made
Yeah.
Germany. They were scaring Germany. The goalkeeper came out about 8-10 times just to get the ball away from the box because he wasn't sure how Algeria was going to respond. He was afraid of their strikers.
Yep.
It was a good game nonetheless to watch. So yeah, I think that's about it. What do you think, Matt? What's your opinion, and how's it gonna fare? How do you think USA is gonna fare in the match against Belgium and the World Cup?
From what I've heard, Belgium is a good team, but hasn't seen much competition.
Right.
From what we've shown, we can beat just about anybody.
Yeah.
But I still hold true. The U.S. going all the way. I am bleeding red, white, and blue.
Right.
And I hope to see us pull it out.
Absolutely. I think that's gonna just wrap up that segment. I think USA in 8. We're gonna be our demise, as hurtful as it is to say. But thanks for listening to our show. It was brought to you by Asus Extreme Sports and all its sponsors, aka Uno. You love your deep dish Chicago deep dish style pizza. I love it at Uno's. Sprint. I used to want to be a Sprint carrier. Don't have it no more, but they have great deals, unlimited data. I would love to have unlimited data. And then Sport and Health, where you want to just work out locally here in Ashburn and their other branches. So check out all our blogs, our latest blogs, and our show, and at acextremesports.com.
So once again, thanks for stopping by the Cover 3
Until
Ustream
next
feed.
time.
We will definitely be on Podbean. Look out for us on the podcast.
Yep.
That is www.thecover3podcast.podbean.com. Make sure you check us out. Listen to our views. You know, you get some of it on the show, but we're gonna have a little bit more added on for you this week.
Yep.
So be
Polls
sure to
on the website as
check that
well.
out. Also, yeah, the website www.thecover3.weebly.com.
Yep.
Is it the cover 3?
Or it's cover3.weebly.com.
It's going to be cover3.weebly.com.
Let Matt do it.
Just to fill you
You
in.
give me a whole
folks.
bunch of crap.
All right, guys. Until next time, stay safe. Watch some sports.
See you on Wednesday.